As we're taping this on Tuesday, the stock market, the S&P 500 index, was trading a little above 2932, which if it closed here, and again, we're taping this in the afternoon, at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so I can't tell you where it closes. But if it were to close at these levels, it would surpass the previous closing high of roughly 2930 and change. The highest intraday high was a little above 2940. So we haven't hit that, at least at the time of this taping. If you look at a chart of the market, it's basically, you've had a V from the September highs basically down through the December lows and right back to where we are now in late April. The momentum is really very solid behind this market. It's tremendously impressive. We do start to wonder whether we're getting overbought, but we really haven't seen the signs of extreme enthusiasm. And what we saw on Monday was a market that sold off half-heartedly in the morning on the news that shoved oil prices higher about the U.S. government looking to reduce waivers on Iranian oil import sanctions. And I think what we're seeing now is just this continuation of the trend. The earnings that we've seen so far have been good, not amazing, but the guidance hasn't been terrible, and it's enough for many market leaders to push higher. It's just the market just seems to be moving in a higher direction. It's very tough to call the end of where momentum is. It would be nice to see the market consolidate a little bit, but that makes it harder to call the top. What we saw on Monday was a slight sell-off in the morning and then essentially rallying back to an unchanged close. We saw it for a couple days last week as well. There was sort of a lackluster feel last week, but this, as of today, the new highs seemed more like an inevitability than a reach. So right now it is very tough to call. It's very hard to say, fight the tape. It's always often a recipe for disaster to do that. So I'm not going to sit here and say, go ahead and fight the tape. But it's hard to be wholehearted about buying stocks now. What are you seeing now that you didn't see 3 months ago? The Fed already made its U-turn. As a matter of fact, I think there's various thoughts that say that the Fed is not going to be as accommodative as the market seems to think. And there's still plenty more of earnings season to come. But, I could throw a ton of cliches. The trend is your friend. Don't fight the tape. As of now, I can't make a strong case for saying, geez, if you haven't loved the market before, you should love it now. But if you've been riding this trend higher, it's also hard to say that you should be doing anything other than normal risk management and making sure you're not either overly invested above your comfort zone or overly concentrated in certain types of risk.